there are some secrets that become even more painful the longer they are hidden. And next week on Emmerdale, viewers may witness one of the most emotionally devastating scenes yet between Cain and Moira, as Cain finally confesses to his wife the cancer diagnosis he has been silently enduring for so long. What makes this scene so special is not only its subject matter, but also its length. Natalie J Robb, who plays Moira Dingle, revealed that this is a 12-and-a-half-minute scene between Moira and Cain. For a long-running soap, that is not the kind of scene that happens often. That detail alone shows how much emotional weight the writers and production team have placed on this moment. According to Natalie, the scene was written with such strength and precision that when she read the script, she could almost hear Cain's voice and feel the emotional rhythm of the character. I think that is a very important detail, because it suggests that the power of this scene does not come from trying to make it artificially more tragic, but from building it in a way that feels completely true to the characters. When a long scene can still hold emotional intensity, it usually means the relationship between the two characters is deep enough for the audience to believe every word and every reaction. In the upcoming episode, after receiving advice from Dr. Liam Kavanagh, Cain will visit Moira in prison and tell her everything he has been going through while she has been away. More importantly, he will admit that his cancer is far more serious than he had previously let on. In other words, Cain can no longer keep avoiding the truth. From a psychological point of view, this makes complete sense for his character. Cain has always been the kind of person who suffers in silence. The more pain he is in, the less he says. He does not want to become a burden, and he certainly does not want others to see him as vulnerable. But by keeping everything bottled up, he has only become more irritable and more prone to losing control. Sarah Sugden's earlier ultimatum, that Cain either tells Moira himself or she will do it for him, showed that things had already reached breaking point. This is no longer about keeping a secret to protect loved ones. It is the moment when silence itself begins to hurt everyone around him. As for Moira, Natalie J Robb described her state in one word: shock. But I do not think shock is enough. For Moira, Cain is not just her husband. He is her emotional anchor, the man who has helped her carry the weight of the whole family. When she learns that the man who always seemed so strong is actually battling a far more aggressive illness than she imagined, her first feeling will surely be that her world is collapsing. Not only because she fears losing Cain, but because her mind will instantly fill with questions. What will happen to the children? What will happen to this family? And what must she do to stop everything from falling apart? That is why Moira's next reaction is to urge Cain to tell the whole family the truth, including Kyle, Isaac, and the rest of the Dingles. It is a very instinctive reaction, but also a very Moira one. When faced with crisis, she does not choose denial. She immediately thinks that the family must know, must prepare, and must face it together. That says a lot about her character. Even in panic, she still holds on to her role as the woman who tries to pull the family together whenever disaster strikes. Another reason this scene is so highly anticipated is the chemistry between Natalie J Robb and Jeff Hordley. Jeff previously shared that he and Natalie prepared very carefully before filming, even arranging Zoom or FaceTime calls to talk everything through in advance, so that once they were on set, they could let the emotions flow as naturally as possible. I think that matters a lot, because with a scene that runs for more than 12 minutes, if the actors do not truly understand each other's rhythm, it is very difficult to maintain authenticity from beginning to end. That may also be why Jeff said he hoped viewers would stay fully engaged with the scene, because it is such a crucial moment in Cain and Moira's storyline. Beyond Cain's illness, next week's Emmerdale will also open up another interesting thread involving Graham Foster and Rona Goskirk. Graham reveals to Rona that he already knew about Cain's cancer, and that part of the reason he helped Cain during the conflict with Joe Tate came from a place of respect. Rona then thanks Graham on behalf of the family, because she understands that what he did is not something the Dingles would find easy to acknowledge. It does not end there, as the two also have a conversation about their past and whether there may still be a chance for them to reunite. Still, looking at the bigger picture, The emotional center of the week is unquestionably Cain and Moira, because this is not simply a confession about illness. It is the moment when two people who have always been strong in their own ways are forced to confront real fear. I think what makes this scene so likely to resonate with viewers is how painfully human it feels. Sometimes, the most terrifying thing is not the illness itself, but the moment when you have to tell the person you love that things are far worse than they ever imagined. If Emmerdale delivers this sequence as powerfully as the cast have suggested, then it could become one of the most memorable Cain and Moira scenes in recent months. It does not need excessive drama or exaggerated twists. Sometimes all it takes is two people sitting down, telling the truth, and letting the emotion guide the moment. And often, that alone is enough to leave viewers choked up.